Far.
I'm ready.
You can see we've got fabulous hats on.
Can you stop tapping that on there because it's recording?
There's something you don't want me to ask you.
Anything scaffold related?
What? Far.
Used within 3 hours to be almost in every point in Germany. Now it takes me about 2 hours to get basically out of Houston. Hey, you never know who's gonna call, right?
It's not customer brand.
Maybe Germany's already
how
looking at it and like, stop it! you
1
know,
million?
Stop
1 million? Far. But any particular question you want to be asked? What time did you get in last night? How many drinks did you have?
Well, actually, I had no drinks, so that's good.
Far.
Hey, we're not even hungover.
So
We'd be different if we were drunk. Maybe we should have been up.
far. I think I've got more wrinkles on my face than I came with.
You had quite a few when we got here, so it's terrifying. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Brace Yourself podcast. My name is Simon Boys, here with Ben Beaumont, and we are in Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, for the SAIA annual conference and exhibition.
So, we're stood in the exhibition hall right here, doing our intro before the hall opens on day 3. And what an event it's been. Everyone in the scaffolding industry in America is here. Lots of big scaffolding contractors, all the big suppliers, all the big ancillary products, scaffolding services, design engineers, safety practitioners, all sorts of people, all in the same place. And it is an amazing event. Community feel, lots of friendliness, right? How would you sum up how it's been and what the experience has been so far?
Action-packed. These events are always challenging on the body. A few late nights, a few amber ales, but lots of great conversations, lots of good people, and that's the best part about this is everyone's just relaxed. You know, everyone's open to have a conversation, talk to each other. There's no secrets. I think the best part is like everybody just collaborates together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been really impressed, and I'm trying to think of the right word to think about it, but I've just been, let's just go with impressed. Just how collaborative and friendly everybody is. There's no animosity really about people, is there? People are willing to share, willing to talk, have an open conversation with you. And, you know, we've done exactly the same with people that are software providers in the scaffolding space.
Yeah.
All really helpful, all really nice. And the same with other companies with their competition, isn't it? You don't have any people really worried about
Imagine sitting down, having that conversation before the events even arrived and say, we're going to bring 1,000 scaffolders from all over the world into a party city, being Nashville, and we're all going to have a few drinks and we're all going to have a great time. The organisers are going to be thinking, mate, we're going to have to get extra security, we're going to have to get extra police, we're going to have to tell the ambulance there's going to be punch-ups, but there's been absolutely none of that. It's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, well, maybe we're just have been a bit too
Maybe we hang out with the
stereotypical.
wrong, maybe we hang out in the wrong crowd.
Maybe that's just our influence, man. I don't know, maybe it's you. I
You,
don't know.
not me.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Typical engineers punching on with the scaffolders.
Mate, we only put extra gear in stuff. We don't fight with it.
Yeah, well, we want to fight
Anyway,
you.
so what a great story we've got. We'll stop rambling on now and let's get into the episode because we've been around, we've talked to all the big players here, talked to the main people, tried to get what they come to the conference for, what they're doing, to give you guys an insight. If you've never been to the SAIA before, if you've never been to this conference before, you're thinking, should I come? Is this the right thing for me? Well, we've tried to give you a little insight to that. We'll show you all around the expo hall. We've talked to the right people. We've got their views on it, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go.
We have an action-packed 3 days full of events. So it goes from when the sun comes up to when the sun goes down. And most people don't actually see the night at all because they're out partying in between. So look, 3 days, starts on the Tuesday, finishes on the Thursday with a special President's Gala Ball. We have an amazing award ceremony. All the award winners all showcase the best that the SAIA members have to show. So Tuesday starting through, run through, board members meetings, all the exhibitors move in. We're in the expo hall at the moment and we'll take you around and we'll show you some of the amazing stands that people have got set up here. Some great product demos early through the day. And then finish with an ambassador's reception. So that's where all of the different committees inside the SAIA come together, get to meet and greet with all the new members and new people that haven't been before, and really introduce what the committees do and try and encourage other people to join it and get involved. So I'm really keen to have a good chat with the guys there. Going into Wednesday, same thing, action-packed day of events, and as we mentioned, finish on the Thursday with the President's Gala dinner. So look, let's come along for the ride and we'll show you what it's all about.
This episode is powered by Leeches, the one-stop marketplace for the scaffolding and construction industry, with over 30,000 product lines in their online store. They've got everything you need to deliver your project to industry-leading standards. And as a customer for the last 20 years, I know they get you what you need when you need it. If you head over to their online store at leeches.com, be sure to use the discount code Brace Yourself for an exclusive 15% discount as a thank you for being a subscriber to this show.
Here we are on the AT-PAC booth at the conference, and we are especially here with Victor from ScaffCalc. It is an absolute pleasure to have him because people think we are feuding, but actually we're really good mates. So Victor, thank you for joining the show. Thank you for coming on the show. How's it been so far for you since arriving in Nashville?
Thank you, Ben. It's been really great. We've had lots of good conversations, and the presentations were really nice. So we got to showcase the software and everything we built for the US market for the last year, and it's been great, yeah.
Well, we thought that your presentation was awesome. How long did it take you to put together?
Well, we did it the night before, but we do a lot of demos every day, so it's basically wrapping the demo into something that works for many people.
Yeah. So what have you specifically developed for the US market?
First thing we learned is that you use something called Imperial here, so that took a while to convert to. And then we built some new tools for 10 to 16 leg stair towers, as well as dance floors or barricades.
Yeah.
So that's what we have dug into the deepest. But we've done a lot of different things for the US market on the product.
Awesome. So what's the next 6 to 12 months look like for ScaffCalc? What are you guys looking to do? What are your aims and ambitions?
So we want to tailor the software more for the industrial sites, because we started in residential. Europe has been our biggest playground so far. So the Scandinavian countries uses a lot of temporary roof systems, which we haven't seen here a lot. Like we have heard about them, but we've never seen them. Yeah. So now we're trying to dig into the industrial part of Scaffold.
Nice. That's really cool. So what have you enjoyed the conference so far? What do you think of it?
I love that. So 1 year ago, I'd never been to the US. Now I've been here 5 times, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So last year was Texas. Great first experience. And now it's Nashville. It's even better, in my opinion. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy the music scene here and the food scene and the people.
Cool. Are you going to be at ScaffX in the UK? You're going to see us there?
I will actually, yeah.
Cool. And if people want to find out more about ScaffCalc, how can they do that?
So you can go to scaffcalc.com and you can find all the details there. You can find my contact or my colleague's contact details there.
Awesome. And we're going to finish with this. So you can see that we've got fabulous hats on. Actually stealing the show is Victor's denim shirt. So why don't you give us a little swirl of the denim shirt?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I wanted something extra for this show. So I made a new design here. You can see it right there, probably.
Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah. And what's the theme of the gala dinner tomorrow is denim and diamonds. So have you got any diamonds?
No diamonds yet. Yeah, I should pick some up on the boulevard, I guess. Do you have any diamonds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got diamonds. Yeah.
Nice.
I can't tell you where though.
No?
I'll show you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barry.
It's great. Pleasure. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Joining us again on the podcast is a previous guest, Brandon Martin from Scaffold Insite. Brandon, welcome back to the show.
Pleasure to be here as usual.
And with Brandon, the best looking twins in the entire scaffolding industry. Jordan, welcome on the show for the first time.
It's good to be here.
Cool. So Brandon, why don't you tell us all about Scaffold Insite and what you've been telling all the wonderful people here?
Yeah, well, Scaffold Insite is our field level management software. This is what scaffolders do. It facilitates the people in the field to be able to give the reporting back to the office that they need and making sure that everything is accurate and transparent and available for everybody.
Yeah, awesome. I was looking at the screenshots earlier and it looks really nicely designed. The UI, the UX looks really good. So how long have you been working on it for?
It's a 15 years in the making story, so we don't have time for that. But we've got 2 years behind the development here. It's been beta tested for the last year. So this is the place that we should be showcasing and launching to the public and making it available. So it's available now.
Cool. And you've got people using it already in Canada, right? And what kind of benefits are they seeing from using the software?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got tier 1 clients across Canada right now that have been using it, and it's bringing everybody to the table to be able to see all of the data that we don't normally have access to. So it's just getting everybody involved in scaffolding, making scaffolding more of the hub that typically we've just been the people we left behind for everything. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Jordan, is it your first time at the SAIA event?
This is my first time here. It's been a wild show so far.
So what do you think of it so far?
It's great. Honestly, it's really nice to meet everybody here and see you guys, how passionate people are about everything.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty busy here, and honestly, I'm learning so much, which has been educational, but and a bit of a marathon.
Nice. So is there anything that you picked up here that you're going to take back to everyday operations or feedback or anything like that you've got?
100%. I mean, this is the central place in North America for people to come gather. You have competitors all sitting at the same table. One of the greatest things that we've seen is the intake of software platforms, which is incredible to see. I mean, it's the modern age now, and we're seeing that it's necessary in our industry, whereas previously, and we're talking as soon as 3 years ago, this was the oddball out that's got to be put in the corner. Like, what are you talking about? Software and scaffolding. So lots to learn, lots of conversations. It's been nonstop. It's a wild event, and hope to see everybody also come next year in Tampa.
Well, there's not that many people been on the show more than once, mate. So you are in a unique, high caliber guest category. Tell us, to finish, if people want to know more about Scaffold Insite, where do they go to find out about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, LinkedIn is a great place to be following us, but scaffoldinsight.com, that's Insite, INSITE, just like the logo.com. That'd be a great place to start, and you can connect with me anytime.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show, Jordan.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on the show, Brandon. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on again.
We're here with Mike on the BrandSafway stand. Mike, thanks very much for your time. Give everybody a little introduction. You're a bit of a big deal around these places.
I'm not, no. I'm past president of the SAIA. I was so honored to be able to do that. At BrandSafway, I run our OEM, our global OEM elevator business. So it's a small division within a bigger company.
Mate, BrandSafway acquired a lot of companies over the years. Now one of, if not the biggest contracting business in the world.
We're one of the biggest contractors in the world, yeah. And then, we have a lot of diversity in what we offer, right? So from scaffolding to construction elevators to swing stages to fireproofing.
Yep.
And then, we have development and manufacturing. We make special products too.
And Mike, BrandSafway all over the world, one of, if not the biggest contractor around. Where do you guys operate?
We operate in 25 countries, 340 locations. We're virtually almost anywhere that you would need us to be, right? Middle East, Latin America, Asia Pacific, heavy in the North America.
So maybe a better question was, which countries are you not in?
Yeah, right.
So you can service any size project anywhere in the world.
We absolutely can.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And being a past president, been involved in the SAIA for a long time, amazing event. Have you got any highlights? What's your favourite part about the event?
It's a great networking show. And for me, I've been doing this for 25 years here at the SAIA, and seeing the people, their businesses, and now we're seeing their children come. The change in the industry, right? New product developments, from competitors, from ourselves, and how technology's being adapted into things is that's all pretty exciting.
And you make a good point. Like, there's lots of competitors here and lots of competing products, but my experience has been everybody's so open, everyone's so welcoming.
Yes.
Whether you're out past each other in the hallway or having a drink after work, it's just such a welcoming community environment. And
I think scaffolding and working at height has a special piece to it. And while we do compete, we're all part of a bigger family overall. And so it's a nice venue.
Yep. And so anybody at home that is sitting on the fence thinking about coming to this event or joining the SAIA, or what would your advice be to them?
I'd highly recommend it. We're one of the largest training organizations for this type of equipment, right? So when people enter the business, one of the big focuses of the SAIA is safety, and that starts with training. Everything from hazard awareness to building scaffolding properly and safely, suspended stages. You get a lot out of it. And then, the magazine has I think it's bi-monthly now, but articles about what's going on and how people are innovating in different projects. And I just think there's a lot you get out of it.
Definitely, couldn't agree more. And let's just to wrap up, just about brand. So people, if they got a project coming up, or they might be working for a GC or somebody, how can they get in contact with you, and how can you help them?
Boy, you know what? BrandSafway.com, and we can encompass almost before you break ground to when you're wrapping up the project. We cover everything.
And it's not hard to find, brand.
No,
you guys are
easy to
everywhere,
find,
across
yeah.
the socials, across the web.
Absolutely.
Well
We're on
done.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Mike, thank you very much for joining us, mate. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time, man.
I appreciate
Excellent
it.
job.
Thank you.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, mate.
So here we are on the AT-PAC stand, elevated at the in the expo floor, and we're back once again with a second-time guest, Julio Black.
Hello.
From AT-PAC. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much. Good, mate. It's good to see you in person, both of you.
And KO, thank you for coming on the show. And
Thank you,
joining
sir.
us.
Appreciate it.
All right. Julio, first
Yes,
question
mate.
for you, mate. Lots of people listen to our show and not based in America, right?
Yeah.
And they just don't understand, or we don't have any knowledge of what it's actually like delivering scaffolding materials and working in the scaffolding industry in the States. So that's kind of a broad question, but why don't you give us an overview from someone that might be living in Europe or living in Australia that you just don't know what it's like?
Yeah, I would say my first of all, the US is absolutely massive, right? So it's like the size of Europe. It's just huge, right? And the market is a very systemized, saturated market, right? So it's pretty much ring lock used across the industry. And so from an AT-PAC perspective, we're very much focused on the industrial sector, but supporting scaffold contractors. And our whole thing for us is that we want to have branch locations around the US. So instead of like the UK, maybe you'll have a few branches, right? I think we've got 2 branches in the UK, maybe more planned in the future. But in the US, we've got 7 locations growing to probably close to 10 in the next couple of years, right? And you have to be close to where your clients need to be, and that's what we do. We provide system scaffold on a sale and rental basis.
Yeah, nice. So what are some of the big things that AT-PAC are doing this year? What's on the horizon? What's the cool things that are coming?
Yeah. Well, first of all, for us, it's solutions, and it's all about our products. So we've developed a new stair stringer that you can see here. Maybe we'll get some B-roll so you can have a look at that.
Yeah.
But that's something new that's coming. We've got a multi-purpose beam system that we developed a couple of years ago, but we're soon to be releasing a European version of that later this year. And obviously, we continue to develop accessories that our customers request.
Yeah. Cool.
That's what we're doing.
Awesome. So, quick one. Why do you guys come to the show then? What is it?
Oh, yeah, go on.
What is it about coming to the SAIA conference that's great for you guys?
For AT-PAC, it's brand presence, and it's all about relationship building, because in the US, it's such a big market, but a lot of the business is done on relationships. And yes, this is a scaffold specific event, and we want to continue building on the relationships that we already have. So for us, brand presence, showing our new products, showing our services, our solutions, and ultimately networking. So, the famous line is, out of sight, out of mind. We want to be forward, center, brand presence across the whole show. And I think if you get some B-roll of our actual stand,
do you want
you'll
some
see
B-roll?
That. Yeah, I want B-roll.
Do we need to get B-roll for it?
B-roll all the way.
I think Julio wants some B-roll.
I'll send it to you.
We'll do it, mate. KO, as I understand it correctly, you are one of the major key account managers at AT-PAC, right? You look after the big projects, industrial scale.
Yeah.
So what is it that you guys do let me just list that microphone up a little bit. There, that's it, perfect. Yeah. What is it that AT-PAC do and you do specifically to support your customers on those massive projects?
Yeah, so on the massive projects that we're currently on, we manage materials, day-to-day operations, design and engineering.
Yeah.
We help bring different access platforms to the clients.
Yeah.
It's probably sad to say, but we're scaffold, but the project solution guys are sometimes anti-scaffold. Try to find better solutions without just relying on scaffold.
And what does that mean on the day-to-day for you? So I imagine you have to have quite a broad skill set and have to do quite a few different things to help the customers, right?
So a lot of times we just try to find different solutions, whether it's rope access, scaffold, man lifts, whatever.
Yeah. And do you guys, I would also imagine that a lot of it is problem solving. Like you said, solution finding, problem solving.
Yeah, 95% is just solution based, just solving problems. Hey, we can't get this scaffold, let's plan it a little bit better, that's all.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Nice, that's really cool. So, give us an idea of a scale, because I don't think, certainly in the UK from my perspective, I think maybe in Australia in the mines and stuff like that, they do huge projects, but how many what kind of, I don't know, tonnage or pieces, what kind of magnitude are we talking about here?
So one of our projects currently is GPLNG, which is down in Port Arthur, Texas.
Yeah.
We have about 18,000 tons, and we're looking to go to 22,000 tons. And
that's a lot of scaffold.
Yeah, we've designed about 16,000 of those tons.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you are a mega project, or just a scaffold contractor with a big project coming up, right? And they're thinking, well, I need a lot, maybe 18,000 is quite a lot of tons, but I need to make a significant investment. I need a lot of material. What kind of options have you got, and what would you be saying to them on the brink of that to help them make that kind of decision and the best way to get that material?
Well, it really just depends on the project, right? Some projects want to buy the material, and we offer a buyback solution.
Yeah.
Some clients prefer just to rent the material.
Yeah.
They don't want to own the asset. So it just depends on the client.
And is there certain types of business that would always typically rent it, or certain types that would always buy it? Or is it really project by project?
So the maintenance environment, which we work in a lot too, they prefer to rent.
Yeah.
And a lot of the construction guys prefer to buy.
Yeah, it makes sense. Cool. That's really awesome. So I think this is the first time and only time we're going to get an opportunity to stand on a scaffold at height, which is nice, and a nice scaffold that it is. These, let me ask you a random question, which I totally didn't prep you for, but did these brick guards come from the UK?
They did not come from the UK. We do produce them closer to the US, absolutely. And
just marginally.
But the brick guards, this is something in the US that's not seen. Normally they use like the orange mesh.
I was only
rolls,
asking because I didn't think they were that common.
No, they're not. But in the UK, it's just part of access in the UK. But here in the US, people are loving them because the modular type, they can be reused over and over again.
Yeah.
And we went to market sort of end of last year, beginning of this year with these, and we've been pretty successful so far.
Popular.
And they're reusable. Up to 7 years lifespan you're going to get out of this. Maybe more if you maintain it.
Yeah. That's cool, right? Yeah. Nice. So how many people have you got here? Let's round this up. How many people have you got at the show? I've seen probably more people from AT-PAC than anyone else. So you guys are front and center, right?
Well, we don't do things with half measures. So I think we've got a total 15 people will ultimately end up being at the show the whole time.
Yeah.
So
and where will people be able to find you next after this show? Where will AT-PAC be in the rest of the year?
Well, of course, we've got ScaffX coming up in Manchester.
Yeah.
And then after Manchester, we've got, what do we have? World of Concrete coming up.
Yeah.
We'll also be down there in Australia for the SAIA coming up later this year. So lots of things planned, lots of events coming up. And I guess we have some open days too coming up around the world. So stand by for that.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us and spending 5 minutes on the show.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Great. Awesome, naturals.
So here we are all the way from Venice in Italy, all the way to Nashville in Tennessee in the United States. Francesca, welcome.
Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to introduce Pilosio. Pilosio is an Italian manufacturing company of scaffold and access solution.
Yep.
And so we travel, I enjoy the mission of Pilosio 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Since there, we went from Italy to Europe, UK, where we have an amazing partnership over there. We opened a branch in Middle East, in Dubai. Now we have a dealer in Australia. We made a partnership in Japan. And here in America, we are just here because we made an amazing partnership.
Well, let's keep that a secret for a moment.
Yeah.
We'll announce our partnership in a moment. But for you travel all around the world.
Yeah.
Where have you been recently?
Recently, I was in Singapore, Malaysia, and Japan.
Japan. Very busy lady. So what brings you and the Pilosio team to the United States for the SAIA event? Like, why are you here and what are you hoping to achieve?
I think SAIA is a great opportunity for everybody in the scaffolding and access industry because it's a network opportunity to interact between supplier, customer, understanding the market. Every market, you're coming from Australia, I'm coming from Europe, Italy. Every market is different and you need to understand that one market is different from the other one. Second, America is America. We love America. It's a land of opportunity. Everything here is big. Even my dreams is big. And the third reason for the partnership.
Yep, so we have a very special announcement today, a new partnership in the United States. So should we announce that now?
No, honestly, the partnership was starting last year, but this year is the first year anniversary of a beautiful partnership we have created with Sky Climber for the North America distribution of fly deck.
Yep, and it's an amazing product. We see it all over the internet now. If you look on LinkedIn, every day you put new products out, and really excited to hear about you've got a really innovative project happening in New York. So we might bring in one of the guys and we'll find out about the project.
I would like to have Dan to explain the project because he's the engineering for Sky Climber, and he take this project because of the flight system. So let's ask Dan to come here.
Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
Excellent. So now we've subbed out Francesca and we've brought in Dan. Dan from Sky Climber, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Really want to hear about this new project you got happening in New York.
Yeah, so we just finished up install on Atrium project in 5 Times Square in Manhattan. It's an underdeck platform they're using up in the ceiling to do rehab of the ceiling. So they're doing all HVAC, drop ceiling, conduit replacement.
Yep.
So it's about 200 square meters, so 2,100 square feet or so. We installed it with Doria. They're our labor partner in New York City, and we're excited to have it be the first project in the States.
Yeah, and FlyDeck, it's a newish product on the market. I mean, it's been around for a little while now, but starting to get a lot of momentum, and it's quite different and quite unique from most other suspended systems.
It is.
What can you tell us, and what was the results on the project?
Yeah, so it's a very lightweight structure. It's a horizontal work platform, right? So all the components of it, with the exception of the decking and the guardrails on it, are lightweight aluminum, high-strength aluminum. It's very modular, so we have these, what we call the lattice beams right here. They vary in range from 1 meter to 6 meter lengths. So typically, you'll start your first set from the stair tower and you build out 6 meter lengths from there. You use this piece right here, which we call the fly rail. This ensures that every piece that you're launching is 100% tied off. No dropped object risk, no strain on your back or anything like that. Everything goes together with these pins. They're elastic pins, so no hardware, no nuts, washers, anything like that.
Save a lot of time.
It saves a huge amount of time. The only tools you really need to put this together are box wrench for the clamps right here and a hammer for the wedge lock.
Yeah, and I really love the concept of no dropped objects. Like every
100%.
Suspended scaffold, the biggest risk is always dropped objects, falls from height. So if you can just eliminate that from happening altogether, great outcome.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about these pans is when you're going out, once you're advancing the platform, you can sit right on this, and they've got a channel on it that locks right into the top lip right here. So you're not swinging a huge piece out over the edge.
Yep. And so you mentioned your delivery partner. So if this is one of the first projects, they wouldn't have a lot of experience with this system.
No.
But how did they find it, using it for the first time?
So I worked with these guys in the industry for a long time, in the suspended access industry. They approached us. This project that they're working on, actually, we were involved with on my old company.
Wow.
So we had a cadence. But they approached us for this. They thought it'd be a great application. We warehouse all this in our facility just outside of Chicago.
Yep.
So there we actually have a mock platform that we train them on. So we had 2 other guys come up, train with us before we mobilized for the install. And by that time, they had the foundation down.
Yep. And it's always a little bit of a risk using a newish product in a new market for the first time. Like, what was the outcome? What were some of the results now that the project's been installed?
Honestly, we kind of just cemented the fact that how flexible the system is, right? So when you're working, especially in commercial access, a lot of the time where structural elements are supposed to be on paper, they're not, right? They're as built and they're not really documented, right? Having this be so modular allows you to make up for that in the field. And again, like the ability to be able to launch it out in multiple directions is huge. So you can really work around the geometry of the structure. Yeah,
that's a huge advantage. The ability to be able to span out in front of you and then, be able to cantilever without having to put any of your guys at risk,
100%.
any fall from heights, like that's a game changer. So
you can actually another part of dropped objects. So if you notice on these pins, there's a hole right here, right? So you can actually lanyard every one of these as you're setting them. So you can also not drop them.
And so the little plastic sheaths on there, so are they replaceable and reusable, or it's a single use?
They are. I mean, they hold up. They're metal. You can feel it. They're metal elastic. They really hold up well.
So what about what's on the horizon? Like any more projects secured, or what's next?
Yeah, so we actually, we're going to be working on the new Titan Stadium right here in Nashville.
Wow.
So we're in the final stages of finalizing the rigging procedure for launching it. It's kind of a unique application. Like I said before, with these, we typically start from a supported structure to launch from. We can't do that on this job, so we're actually hoisting this up into position and then building out from that point while it's floating. That's slated to start in the next 2 weeks. So
Amazing.
I'll be coming back down here and I'll be supervising the crew and assisting them in any way they can.
And any of those type of projects involve so much planning and so much thought that goes into it. So just tell me, how does all that come together with Pilosio being a European company, you guys being local and having a delivery partner, plus then the customer who you're delivering the project for. There's so much collaboration there. So how do you pull all that together?
Pilosio has incredible support. A lot of them, right, obviously there's a time difference. We're 6 hours time difference on East Coast time. Everything's through WhatsApp. We communicate constantly on WhatsApp. I communicate almost every day with their engineering team, just to even touch base on what we're working on. With our labor partners, again, I've known this guy for decades, so we check in on each other constantly. Honestly, that 5 Times Square job, the hardest thing about it was the logistics. It was active lobby space, so everything had to be done on night shift. And then when you're dealing with semi-trucks coming into Times Square in Manhattan, that was a logistical nightmare. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of coordination. Everything comes out of Chicago, so we have to coordinate all the freight from Chicago to wherever we're going. But yeah, we've got support on every aspect.
You would have hoped that there was no night shift scheduled when the Knicks games are on, parties in the streets. It would have been crazy.
No, we avoided that, thankfully. We started the install on this back in April. They're actually just now starting to use it, but
awesome, Dan. Thanks for joining us, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
You. Yeah, you. You know I'm talking to you. What are you doing right now? Get your ass over to scaffplan.com, check out all the features, watch a demo, download a free trial today and see how ScaffPlan will absolutely transform your operations. Get there now.
We're here with Stefan and Brian. Great to have you on the show, guys. It's really lovely to see you. So, tell us a little bit about Layher in the United States, because I can imagine it is quite unique. Vast country, difficult challenges, and you guys, we probably don't appreciate that over in Europe, where we're much closer together and really close to the, realistically quite close to Germany, right? So you guys are growing really well at the moment, great market penetration, lots of people using Layher. So how are you managing to keep up with that, and what are the kind of challenges that you guys face?
Yeah, Ben, first of all, thank you for having us. Yeah, I've seen your shows many times on social media. I'm actually surprised to meet you in person, very happy about it, and we are very thankful to be on the show, yeah. So as you can hear from my accent, I'm German, so I'm like you from the UK. I'm used within 3 hours to be almost in every point in Germany. Now it takes me about 2 hours to get basically out of Houston. So yes, absolutely. So one of the big challenges we face here in North America is actually the vast distance and the size of the country, right? Texas is bigger than probably Great Britain or England for that matter. Significantly.
Like 20 times bigger.
20 times bigger.
Something like that.
And so, yes, logistical challenges and selling is a challenge, right? You can visit 3 or 4 customers in a day in Europe. You barely can visit 1 or 2 customers per day in the United States. But I think, especially in North America, I think we found a good way to set up a good distribution network. We're constantly growing, adding more branches, finding customers, supporting customers. Another big challenge is obviously long supply chains. In Europe and UK, you're probably 2 days away from Germany, right? Very close. We spend a lot of time actually thinking about, hey, you never know who's going to call, right?
It's not customer brand.
Maybe Germany's already looking at it and like, stop it!
1 million?
Stop
1 million?
We gotta go. We can do that. Yeah, no, I mean, it happens.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So yeah, and the business never stops. But we found a good way, and we work closely with our customers to figure out what they might need 3, 4, 5 months down the road, because that's the material that needs to go into the supply chain now. And as you know, you're a scaffold builder, right? Or you come from the scaffold world, if I remember that correctly from the podcast. One piece can hold up an entire job site. right?
Yeah.
And we at Layher do not want that to happen, so that's why we keep a massive amount of inventory.
Do you have to hold a lot? I imagine you have to hold a lot of stock in country, quite a bit, just to keep up with that need. I mean, Layher is one of the most well-stocked suppliers in my experience. So do you have to hold more in country than a typical other subsidiary of Layher?
You know, I would have to travel to the other subsidiaries. Maybe I should go to England one day or Australia. I would say in general, yes, the further you are away from your factory, the more you have to keep for safety, fluctuations in supply chain. So far, but I mean, our customers probably agree, on the supply side, we can ship as fast as they can receive it, right?
Yeah.
And so even on larger projects, when we involve hundreds of truckloads, it's not a big deal because the other thing is obviously you have multiple branches. If one branch can't ship, the other one takes over, right?
Yeah.
And that's by design to keep inventory low, right?
Yeah.
And or more efficient, so to speak. Specialty parts. A lot of customers need specialty parts, not one or two. They need hundreds. You know how that goes, right? And so, but I think, like I said, the system that we have works pretty well for our customers.
Awesome.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so, and I think that's one of the differentiators we have here in the market, right? In America is the distribution.
So, Brian, can I give the microphone to Aaron? So what's Layher's presence like here at the SAIA conference, and what do you guys hope to get out of it by coming? You know, what's the reasons why Layher come to these kind of events and support them so much?
So I mean, really, the reason why Layher comes out, excuse me, is because of the fact that it's to better the industry. We want to make sure that everybody is safe, everybody is really informed on how to work in scaffold. Because we are trying in the process to start working more like the UK with how you guys have scissors.
Yeah.
And so in the US, we don't have any apprentice program, which is really difficult. And so part of the association's ideal and fundamentals is try to better ourselves as a whole.
So you're talking on behalf of the SAIA now, because you're heavily involved with that, right?
Correct. And I mean, and really that's part of it. You don't want to be left behind on this because of the fact that it's really nice to be able to want to better the industry, not just as a company, but as a whole. And so it's something that we really like to focus on. And I mean, you get a lot of value out of it, not only through that, but also the networking, the ideology to see, because like you were saying, we're such a massive country. And so everybody kind of has their own spin, how they do it. And so it's a really cool way to understand better what everybody's kind of doing in different markets, because in this industry, you're constantly learning.
I can't imagine you get that many opportunities to have all your customers in the same place.
No, not at all. And even in these kind of events, it's still difficult because you're talking about multiple days away from places. And so that's another challenge. But it's always nice to be able to try to get together at least 2 to 3 times a year, as many people as we can. And this kind of gives it another venue to do that.
Nice.
And maybe to add, it's my first time. Thank you. It's my first time at SAIA. I heard a lot about SAIA, prepared SAIA and things of that nature, and supported it, of course. And it's fairly unique, right, to have scaffold-only customers, scaffold on access, right, other than World of Concrete in one place, like you said, very concentrated from North America. And seeing that many customers where you can really have a professional conversation about scaffolding. With other trade shows like Bauma and everything else, I would imagine it's scaffolding, but it's also other construction equipment, right? So here this is very concentrated, and it's a very great organization, like you said, to advance scaffold professionalism, and new ideas, new thoughts, training. Training is always an issue. Safety is always an issue, right? Building safer scaffolds, right? So I think it's great. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope Frank invites me next time for the next one too. I try to behave. Okay.
You can always come over to the UK in September and come to ScaffX, right?
Okay, there you go.
You know, that's you good. You came to Lithuania, Brian.
Correct.
For the Scaff Champs. You were great there, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Nice to see. Shame we didn't have an American team this year, but last year we did, and it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, I think that we're going to try to do something a little bit.
Yeah.
No, not this year. No.
Micah's very keen to come back, so that'll be kind of cool. I mean, another great Layher event, right? Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And
cool.
I think the key thing is that just trying to have a little bit more. I mean, every year the world is getting a little bit smaller, and I think having a little bit of cross collaboration with everybody across the world really helps better everything.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why we came. Learn, understand, meet new people, share ideas. Exactly right, and that's kind of the ethos of everyone coming, right? They want to meet new people. They want to talk about what they're doing. They want to learn from other people, and everyone's really open to share, right?
Yeah,
it's really nice. There's Simon and I were talking about it. There's a community feel. It feels like, there's quite a high degree of trust and low barriers. People are happy to talk and chat and share, and that's credit, right? Credit to the industry, credit to the people, and
that's really how you're able to get a lot done, is by having a little bit of trust throughout the industry, that you know that everybody's kind of here for the same reason.
Yeah,
cool. That's to better it.
Yeah.
So, and I want to in that trend, I want to give a shout out also. So obviously you see the big trend with data centers being built in the United States, and in that context you see companies like Meta, specifically in Houston, right, advertising for craftsmanship and people learning trades, and obviously that includes scaffold to a certain extent, because those are needed as well. So we also seen a big trend more towards professional craftsmanship for all kind of trades, including scaffold, right, painting, installation, coming from like Facebook. Can you imagine? So
cool.
That's very interesting.
Yes. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. It was awesome to talk to you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, Brian. It was a pleasure.
About the ring.
We're here on the Tractel stand with Bill McCarthy. Welcome. You guys have a huge part of the show. Spent a lot of time and a lot of effort, sponsoring some of the other events throughout the show. So tell us a little bit about Tractel.
Well, Tractel originated with the manual hoist, the grip hoist, in 1941. Through the years, they came up with the electric hoist, one of the best hoists in the country, in the world, as a matter of fact. There are more of our hoists in New York City than any other hoist, and that's a testimony to that hoist. Works in very tall buildings. Great. It's very hardy, powers through almost any situation. We not only make hoists, though, we make PPE, guardrail. Our catalog is pretty extensive. We make what we sell. So our factories are all over the world. We're Germany, France, Mexico, US. We're based out of Houston in North America. We love this event. We'd never miss it. We've had a logo change. A lot of people would say, hey, we had the old logo, we've changed, we've redefined. We're owned by another global company, AT-PAC, and we've got some great new leadership. And we're just happy to be here. We already deal with a lot of these folks. So these are like people we know. We see them all the time, and we look forward to seeing them. And this is sometimes where we all meet up. And then we meet new members and new folks, and it's just a great opportunity.
And you guys have done an amazing job too. Like, your brand looks clean and sharp, and it's really defined. And you do a great job with your expo booth, and got plenty of really knowledgeable staff here. But for anybody who's not familiar with your hoists, like somebody at home that they might be a scaffolding contractor, or somebody thinking that they want to get into that type of industry, tell us a little bit about the different types of hoists. Like, what can you offer? Is it permanent? Are they temporary?
No,
what have you got?
they are temporary suspended access hoists to be used with platforms and rigging. We sell to the people that provide these to the contractors and subcontractors on the job for temporary use. We also have another facade access arm that does provide permanent, but we're primarily temp access. Suspended access, platforms, rigging, and our motors. We have a 1,000-pound motor, 1,500-pound motor, 2244 and 5,500-pound motor, single phase, 3-phase. We have an air motor. We have manual hoist still. It can basically cover anything, any access situation you have, we can help out. We have engineering that we provide. I was just going to
ask that. So say for example, I'm starting a new company, or I want to add a hoisting division to my existing company. How can you support and help my business grow, and why should I come to you rather than somebody else?
Well, with our experience, myself, Jim Boudreau, who everybody knows here, we would know exactly pretty much what you would need to start a suspended access company. And we would give you the product list, what you would need. How many hoists, how many motorized. It's not, you don't start small, but we could also introduce you to people that you could re-rent from if you were starting a small company.
That's a big advantage.
And get you into the game. And then we can provide, the engineering is critical too. You show us a plan, we can help spec it out and give you the feedback immediately.
Yeah, and that's a big part too, because especially for scaffolders coming into hoisting, it's a very different trade. It's very different, and without that technical experience and the designing and the engineering and the technical support, it'd be very, very challenging. So
we also provide the competent person training with SAIA. Jim Boudreau's our trainer. He works with them. So the training's critical too. Rigging essentials, we might call it, or rigging 101 to start you off, and then get your more experienced guys a competent person training. so you know you're protected. And a phone call away. I'm on a job. I need your help. We're always available.
I think that's peace of mind for anybody coming into the industry.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
Bill, thank you very much for your time. You guys do a great job, and appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So one of the best parts of the event here is showcasing new products, new innovations, and we've got a great example here. So Brian, you're the expert. Tell us what we can see here.
Yeah, so one of the biggest issues with the industry has been connecting 5x5 beams together. And it's across the complete industry. We have numerous manufacturers that have the same type of design. And so what is actually happening is the fact that people aren't truly connecting the beams together.
So what's that mean on the side, right? So if they're not connected properly, what's the outcome? What's going to happen?
What's the outcome is literally the two beams are going to separate from each other.
Yeah.
And then you can imagine that, when what you're hanging from isn't there anymore, it's going to come straight down.
So we're talking life and death.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So there's been lots of incidences in this industry across the board. And so we came up with a new design that is patented right now at this point. And it's pretty much a go, no-go gauge built into the splice. Yep. So when you actually slide the two beams together, now all of a sudden, currently you see that there's some red marking here saying that you can't put a pin into the hole. So it's actually, there's a physical stop preventing you from doing that. When you actually slide the beam in, then that hole actually opens up. And then you can slide the pin in and it's fully engaged.
So you can't get it wrong.
You cannot get it wrong. That's
Perfect.
Exactly it. So now you 100% guaranteed. You actually see two green openings right there in the opening, so that now you know that everything's fully connected. You put all 4 pins in, and you're good to go.
And when we're talking life and death situations, there's nothing more important than making sure we can't get it wrong. So
100%.
Congratulations, that's a great outcome.
Thank you.
I'm here with Christina from the SAIA, and she has been integral with the rest of the team here at putting on an absolutely amazing event. So, Christina, why don't you start by telling us just how much preparation has gone into the event and when you actually started the whole journey of prepping this?
So this space was actually contracted over 3 years ago. And so at the time that it was contracted, we thought that it was going to be the perfect size. But the growth that the association has seen in the last 3 years has been so astronomical that we sold this space out in literally a month and a half.
Wow.
And we've had a wait list ever since November of 2025. And this show is July 2026, so
That's
almost
insane.
a whole year later. So we've had a lot of growth this year. We've got over 45 different exhibiting companies this year. We have 4 new exhibitors this year. You do have to be a member to exhibit, so that's a really awesome member benefit for those that, again, want an opportunity to be at the show with us. This year we have 800 people in attendance, which is mind-blowing. We've averaged 500 to 600 in the past, so
That's
to go up
so
that
cool.
much more is just
25% growth year on year.
Yes,
right? Amazing.
yes, the momentum is high. We've got a lot of new faces, 171 first-time attendees.
Of which we are?
Yes, of course.
Yep.
We love that. We're so glad to have you guys here.
Thank you.
And definitely hoping to have you guys back with us next year if you've had a great time so far.
So for you guys as the event organizers, what are the highlights? What do you guys really look forward to seeing, and what do you think are the best parts of the show?
The people. 100% our group feels like a family reunion when you come to these shows. Usually you're going, again, a year without seeing people, again, especially for those that are international. You don't see each other very often. So the opportunity to actually see and put those faces to names for the new people, and then again, those family members. And what's also really cool is that our show allows for new innovations to be put out there to the world. This is the show where new things come out, new partnerships are announced. We do have product demos. You guys took place in those on Tuesday, which is, again, a great opportunity for you to have a single one-on-one audience to sell your product to. Again, an exhibit hall can kind of get lost in there, so those product demos are a great niche opportunity for you. And then I lost my train of thought, so.
That's cool.
Sorry.
All right, let's. I want to ask you one more question, right? Yeah. So tell us about next year's show. Where is it? What is it happening? If someone's watching this, either in the US or in Europe or abroad, and they think, I want to come to that event, how do they do that? What do they have to do?
Well, of course they want to come. There's no reason that you're not going to want to come. We're a very welcoming group here. You're going to feel welcome the second that you get here until the very end. There's things to do from the second you get here until the end. Next year, we're going to be in Tampa, Florida. We're going to go on August 4th through the 8th, Tampa, Florida. Our exhibit hall space is actually going to be twice the size of this hall, which is really exciting. We also have much taller ceilings, so people will, again, working at heights, we need to be able to build up and showcase that. We have the space that's the JW Marriott on the water, so booking at the hotel is also a perk because we have sponsored opportunities. So each night, those attendees that stay within our room block get nightly treat drops.
Nice.
So that's an extra nice little perk.
That was great.
Yes,
Popcorn was cool
always.
last night, wasn't it?
The popcorn was great.
Nice.
Music City Mix. We play into the theme every year, so expect pirate ships in Tampa.
Maybe.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll
So
see.
how, if someone's looking, how do they find out how to book, how to do it? Where do they go? To the website?
So if you go to the SAIAonline.org website, or you can reach out to me. I am the membership manager. I also handle the sponsors and exhibit sales. I would be able to set you guys up with an opportunity to exhibit with our show. We do have plenty of space. It is a first come, first serve basis. Our show registration for the exhibit hall opens on August 19th, and then the show registration for convention will open, I want to say it's November 1, so that way we can really start getting the momentum going.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. And
thank you guys for joining us.
Congratulations on such a great event.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well, Benjamin, I am severely dehydrated. My feet hurt from line dancing, and I probably need some electrolytes and some Panadol to get rid of this headache. But how are you feeling?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. I think we've fully committed to the SAIA event. I think that's the right thing to say. We've thrown ourselves into it, haven't we?
Into the deep end.
But it's been awesome, hasn't it? It's been absolutely brilliant.
Huge 3 days.
I mean, I don't think I fully appreciated the scale and magnitude of the scaffolding industry in America. And I'll tell you what a great stat was. I was talking to David Brown last night, who you guys all know from the NASC.
Not everybody knows him, but...
Okay, well, David Brown is the current president of the NASC in the UK, and granted, not everybody knows who he is, but he's a lovely fella, absolutely delightful. When we were chatting about the size of the American market, I think this is a really interesting stat, because we were estimating the size of the contract scaffolding industry to be around $60 to $70 billion annually, and the UK contract scaffolding market is around about 3 to 4 billion. And to have some context, 1% of global contract scaffolding goes through Houston, and that means in Houston alone they do just about the same as the entirety of the UK scaffolding industry. I mean,
1% doesn't sound like a lot, but when you break it down like that, that's crazy.
It's 3, 4, 5 billion. I mean, just insane.
Yep. Mate, been a big day, big few days. What's been your highlight so far?
The conversations, I think. I mean, I didn't realise just how friendly everyone is. I think that's just what.
Is that an American thing or the scaffold industry?
I think it's a bit of both. I think everyone in the scaffold industry is pretty friendly, but it's a small industry, right? And it's that feelings, you get the same feeling everyone knows each other, but as a foreigner and coming for the first time, I've just been blown away by how welcoming everybody is.
Yeah, it's great to see that everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, everybody talk to each other, whether it's passing each other in the hall or at the breakfast tables or at the dance floor while you're bumping into each other accidentally square dancing. It's been an experience.
I don't think I saw you square dancing, mate.
Yeah, maybe
I was on the rowing line in the square in front of you.
You would have been at one of those techno bars where you can't even listen to yourself. You can't have a conversation.
There aren't any techno bars in Nashville.
Well, that's why
there's only one.
That's why I didn't see you.
There, tried it. No, but I think other highlights. The stands have been really cool, and they kind of take a different approach, because obviously we've got ScaffCalc in the UK, which is a big exhibitor kind of event, but here it's much more about the conversation, it's about meeting people, it's about connecting and talking about things and having really meaningful discussions. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen at ScaffCalc, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that kind of event, the magnitude of the product show is much greater and vaster.
But talking with a lot of the exhibitors here, their focus is on the relationships and the customers, not the stand. Like the stand in the expo booth it's a way to attract people to come and have a conversation, but it's not like at Bauma or at ScaffCalc. I mean, I haven't been to ScaffCalc, but I assume ScaffCalc, where they put a lot of time and a lot of cost and money into the actual showcasing the products. It's really interesting here that it's more about the conversations and the relationships rather than the product.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's probably one of the main takeaways, right? Understanding that in the States, it's building trust through building relationships with people and getting to know them. People work with, I was talking to someone yesterday, people always work with people who they like and people who they trust, right? And it's building that trust and building those relationships so you can find people that you can do business with, not just today or tomorrow, but over the long term. And I think that's really important because ultimately, that's how all successful business happens, isn't it? And you just see it coming out quite literally in an event like this and how it's all put together. And I think, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, and I think that comes back to the American people. You know, they're always very welcoming and they're very open and they have a lot of conversations. And I think that's why the American market is so customer relationship driven, is because it's just ingrained into the people. That's the way they live, the way they work, the way they talk. And it's a really welcoming place to be. And it just feels like home.
Yeah, I agree. And I think last but not least, the thing we ought to say is just a big shout out to the SAIA organisation. The people here have done an absolutely incredible job with a relatively lean team, right? They work so hard and have been so organised to put on the event, make us feel really welcome, make us feel part of the show, and yeah, they've done an incredible job. So Jackie, Paige, Christina and everybody else, well done. Thank you so much for having us. Great shout out to you guys.
Yeah, I'll second that. I mean, everything has gone absolutely seamlessly. Like day one, they had a technical issue with checking people in. And then when you get there was no lines. Everyone had already got their tickets. It had gone absolutely perfectly. So I think well done to everybody, the organisation, and not only the SAIA team, also the venue, you know, the wait staff and all of the people, the cleaners, and everybody's done an amazing job. It's gone absolutely perfectly.
So if you were thinking of coming to the SAIA conference next year, thinking, well, what's in it for me? I would definitely consider it. Where is it next year?
Tampa, Florida. So, but I mean, this was the biggest event they've ever had. I think they've maxed out on capacity. So if you are interested in coming, you need to get in early. Talk to the guys, get on board, otherwise you're going to miss out.
Yeah. Well, from another episode, thanks for tuning in, and remember, brace yourself.